Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which I guess we could call a tough love vlog because I am going to be providing some tough love to, well, it could be for anybody actually, but specifically I guess the word could be targeting, focusing on my conservative compatriots, friends, fellow travelers. And in fact, let me just say right now, as I try to do in every vlog, sometimes I forget, but I'm a conservative. That's full disclosure. I am a conservative. Always keep that in mind when you evaluate whatever I say. And that gets to the main theme of this vlog because, as I just did, I reveal my biases, unlike a lot of our media. I would even say most of our media. And I try to be fair. I try to be fair. If I make a mistake, I try to correct it. If I hear something plausible from liberals, and I often quote liberals, I've quoted them favorably, then I share it with everybody. But this has to do with, well, first of all, I've got a couple little pieces of business to take care of, so let me take care of that first. I have gotten a few new subscribers in the past few days, and the good news is, well, the new subscribers, but also the pace seems to be picking up a little bit. That's the good news. The bad news is the number of new subscribers is such that I no longer have time to thank everybody individually. I got one this morning, I think, but there have been several before that. So all new subscribers and former subscribers, all of you subscribers, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate all of you individually, even if I cannot name all of you individually. So that's the first item of business. Second item is a news item. Just thought I would throw this in. But, well, here's a headline. Rick Scott vows to delay Biden Department of Homeland Security nominees until president visits border. Senator Rick Scott, Republican of Florida, on Wednesday promised to delay President Joe Biden's Homeland Security nominees until the Democrat visits the U.S.-Mexico border. Quote, "I'm very concerned about the crisis on the southern border, and I'm very disappointed that the president has elected not to go there and address what he's going to do to take steps to stop the crisis," unquote, the former governor of Florida told colleagues. Which is another little bit of trivia. He's a senator now, but he was a governor of Florida. Quote, "I am going to hold all nominations until the president visits the border, and I think the president needs to visit the border and tell us how he is going to address the crisis," unquote. So first of all, a little clarification there. It's in the rest of the article. I didn't want to make it too lengthy, but he's only talking about Department of Homeland Security nominees. He's not talking about holding up all nominations just for that department, which makes sense because those are the people who are responsible for the border. Another person who is responsible is Kamala Harris, but ultimately the president. But she was specifically assigned, well, she was the border czar, and if you're the person who is assigned to handle a serious issue, it's just understood, it's just self-evident, or should be, that you're going to visit the area where the problem is, that you're going to be hands-on, that you're going to personally go and see what the problem is. And she hasn't, and the president hasn't either, but he's got a little bit of an out by saying, I gave that task to Kamala Harris. She's the vice president. Really has nothing to do under the Constitution except decide tie votes in the Senate. So he's got a little bit of an out, though I still don't, I just don't accept it. But Kamala Harris is, in her situation, I definitely don't. If you can go all the way to Guatemala, you can go to our own border. But I don't want to dwell on that too long because now I want to get to the tough love. And I just want to emphasize and I'll also be able to clarify something about my own position on these ballot audits. I'm going to save that for last. I hope I remember. If I don't, someone can put it in the comments. I'll try to remember because I didn't make a note here, unfortunately. But this is, I just want to say again, tough love. I'm emphasizing the love because it's based on a couple of comments that I got today. Actually, there's 3 comments, so I just want to be sure I'm not trying to bash anybody, embarrass anybody. That's why I'm not going to put up the actual tweets this time as I usually do. I'm not going to name names, but as I've said in the past, I try not to reply to comments unless they raise a larger issue, and this is a very large issue to me. I got a couple of comments today about 100,000, 200,000, I don't remember, hundreds of thousands of missing ballots in Maricopa County. 100,000 or more ballots are missing or were found to be missing during the Maricopa County ballot recount, Maricopa County, Arizona. And it's especially apropos or ironic or some combination of the two because in the last vlog I did, it was so long I had to break it into 2 parts, so I don't remember which part it was, so it was either yesterday or the day before. I'm recording this on Wednesday. These vlogs were Monday and Tuesday. You're seeing it on Thursday. But I had this headline, here it is again, 8 anti-Trump narratives the media finally had to admit were false all along, to which I added a 9th that came out after this article was published, which was Babylon Bee. The New York Times had to walk back something that the Times had said about the Babylon Bee, which is a conservative satire site. Not going to go into the details again. The point is, 9 times they had to walk back something. For example, Trump ordered protesters to be tear gassed for a photo op. An investigation was done. The results were reported, I believe, either early this week or late last week. But that was, to use a popular term on the left, debunked. That was debunked. Trump ignored Russian bounties on U.S. soldiers, on and on, yada, yada, yada. These are not just things that conservatives claimed were false. They were proven false and proven so conclusively that the media outlets had to walk back what they said, which now gets me to my tough love admonition, because it's especially apropos or ironic or some combination of the two that what I'm about to discuss comes so soon after I just had this article up. And the 2 commenters, again, I'm not going to name them, but they're regular visitors to the site, so I'm assuming that they saw yesterday's in the vlog and the one from the day before, the 2-part vlog. But there is this rumor going around that, well, the 2 comments said that there are 100,000 ballots, 200,000 ballots, over 100,000 ballots. As I said, I can't quote the comments directly from memory. Not going to put them up and try to embarrass anybody, but that's false. Here is this headline: Arizona Senate Audit Liaison disputes report claiming hundreds of thousands of ballots missing. Spokespersons for the audit taking place in Arizona's largest county are pushing back on a report that claimed auditors have discovered hundreds of thousands of missing ballots. Quote, "There's been no such finding yet," unquote. Ken Bennett, a former Arizona Republican Secretary of State, told the Epic Times. That's where this report is coming from. I've quoted Bennett several times in the past. He is the official liaison between the people actually doing the audit, the cyber ninjas, and the rest of the world, and he is saying that this is false. He confirmed that there haven't been any missing ballots discovered during the audit thus far, and it's almost over. I think it probably is by the time I'm reporting this. Yeah, Bennett is the Arizona Senate's liaison for the audit. Randy Pullen, a former chairman of the Arizona Republican Party, who is also serving as a spokesman for the audit, told reporters at the election review in Phoenix that the missing ballot claim is, quote, crazy, unquote. quote. And that brings me to the tough love, the actual tough love, which is, I have said numerous times throughout the time I've been vlogging on this subject, and probably other subjects, I've said over and over again, wait for the facts. This ballot audit is ongoing. No results have been reported yet. The only people who definitively know what is going on, what is happening, are the people who are actually doing the audit, and they haven't finished it yet. The idea that, now I did do a story earlier about some slips, some pink slips that came in some boxes of ballots that indicated a certain number of ballots being in a box and not matching the actual number of ballots that were in the box. But I put up, you saw the actual images of the slips, and I'm not going to rehearse that whole story, but I also published the response, or reported the response of the Maricopa County election authorities. In other words, I gave both sides, but I had actual documents, and that wasn't after an examination of all the ballots, which hasn't, or opening of all the boxes, which hadn't been done by that time. So you see what I'm talking about. It's very important, unless you want to be like these media outlets that I just quoted, or that to which I just referred 8 times, 9 times, having to walk back a false story. You set yourself up for that kind of trap and for criticisms from liberals if you just report stuff that you heard. If it's not, this is my own personal practice policy, if it doesn't come from the officials authorized to speak on behalf of this audit, the Fulton County audit that I hope will be happening soon, I don't report it. I ignore it. Personally, I ignore it. I take it with multiple grains of, or boulder sized grains of salt, because it's not an official announcement. And you have to look at the implications. If this does turn out to be accurate, then that means that somebody is leaking. And if somebody is leaking, then that throws the entire audit into question. So you see the problem that, again, I say with all friendliness, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but you see the problems that you create if you just state things that don't come from an official source, or state, well, I mean, I well remember, maybe this is before some of you were even born, but there was supposed to be some corruption involving George Bush, George W. Bush, and there was a special counsel appointed. His name was Fitzpatrick, I believe, and liberals were crowing about Fitzmas. It was going to be Fitzmas, and Karl Rove, who was Bush's advisor, was going to be frog marched out of the White House. They talked about it over and over, and it turned out to be false when Fitzpatrick made his report. And I keep wanting to say Fitzsimmons. I'm pretty sure it's Fitzpatrick. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Oh, and the Russian collusion hoax, the media, the liberal media, went on and on and on and on for years that the walls were closing in, and that blew up in their faces too. So you see, it's something I don't understand. If somebody's doing an investigation and a report is going to come out, and you know the report is going to come out, why can't you wait? It's like some people on both sides, I include my conservative friends and people who agree with me, it's like their kids waiting for Christmas. They can't wait for the packages to be under the Christmas tree and open the package. They want something right away. And sometimes it's hard, but you just have to wait. If there's a trial, you have to, as I said all during the Chauvin trial, you have to wait for the verdict. You have to wait for the results. You have to wait for the end. You should not jump ahead and repeat something that you heard because it's in your favor. It supports something that you support. You have to resist that temptation. In fact, I will refer to another comment I got, I think, this morning from a liberal, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not going to, in fairness, I'm not going to put that one up either. But he said that regarding the Maricopa County audit, where they are doing the forensic examinations of the ballots, not just counting the votes, but examining the actual ballots right down to the point of examining the actual paper and imaging or scanning with ultraviolet light, so on and so forth. And this person said, I can't wait to see the bamboo paper, as if, well, that's false. They're not looking for bamboo paper. They're looking for, well, they're just looking for any discrepancy that would show that the ballots are counterfeit. That's all. It could be, as I said yesterday, ovals that are filled in identically on multiple ballots with a little white space that if you don't fill in an oval completely, but identical on multiple ballots. They're looking for a lot of things. All the bamboo refers to is bamboo fibers, which could be found in paper that was manufactured in China. But they're not looking for bamboo. They're just using means that would expose it if it was there. But also keep in mind why they are doing this. I mentioned this before. It's not because of quote unquote crazy conspiracy theories by QAnon and other conservatives or far-right conservatives, which I am not, but it is based on testimony sworn under oath by witnesses. And I'll just add something if anybody is watching who was watching yesterday, because I forgot to mention it and it was so long I didn't want to make it any longer. But to my knowledge, and somebody can correct me, I was challenged to make claims, and then somebody named Scott, and I invite anybody else, would debunk the claim. To my knowledge, and I could be wrong because I'm not a regular TV watcher, I don't think any of the hundreds of witnesses were on any of these Sunday talk shows to tell their stories and be questioned, not just by supporting reporters, but by George Stephanopoulos, Chuck Todd, all the liberals. They would be able to question also. None of them have been put on TV, and to be fair, I don't think on Fox either. So why are they not being heard? That is a question that I think is legitimate, which gets to I'll get to my main point in a moment, but I just want to say that these audits are being done based on testimony, sworn under penalty of perjury. That's why they are doing it. The Judge Amaro, who is about to, on Monday, be holding what I hope will be the final roadblock / hearing for the Fulton County inspection or imaging and inspection of 147,000 absentee ballots. That he said too that he was acting on testimony, sworn testimony under penalty of perjury from witnesses. And our friends on the other side, our liberal friends, they never mention those witnesses. They never explain how over 100 witnesses swearing under oath, penalty of perjury, could all be mistaken or lying or both. But getting back to the quote-unquote bamboo paper, the Maricopa County election officials, to debunk that contention, said all our paper is made in the United States and we do not have any bamboo in our paper. So that's supposed to be a debunking, and I would take another side of that. I would say, okay, well, that would seem to mean that if we have this definitive statement from the Maricopa County election officials that there is no bamboo in the legitimate ballot paper that they use, if this audit finds bamboo fibers, well, you have it right there. That is proof right there that you have a counterfeit ballot, and then it's simply a question of how many of these bamboo paper containing ballots there are. But, and this is my final point, because this could be misunderstood, it may have been in past vlogs, as I always say, I wait for the facts. So I am not, as I tell YouTube so they don't take me down, I am not contesting the election. I am only saying that you have all these witnesses. It's legitimate to do an audit and establish the facts. And I freely admit, full, comprehensive forensic audit may very well just verify that Biden actually, that he did win. And we should all be happy about that. We conservatives too. It means that the election was not stolen. We should all be happy about that. Now, it could still show some fraud, and then we would want to take, or we would want the state legislatures to pass legislation to prevent some of these things from happening again, because to take Arizona as an example, Biden's margin there was about 11,000 votes. So what if you have a situation like Florida, where the margin was only, in the whole state of Florida, where the margin was only 500 votes? So our liberal friends should be agreeing with us that if we find any fraud, if we find, for instance, that there's any fraud that resulted from ballot harvesting, then we have to outlaw ballot harvesting. If we see any fraud resulting from these drop boxes, then we have to do something about that. And some states already are, but we should hope that the total result, even if there is fraud, will confirm that the results of the election are the actual results of the election. And that's what I am hoping too. That's what I want to clarify. I'm hoping that the audits, hopefully multiple audits, will show that will confirm that Joe Biden won. Again, that's what we should all want. And then I would just end by saying to our liberal friends, if it does show that, then we could say, well, even if just Maricopa County confirms that Biden won, then we could say to our liberal friends, see, it was all for nothing. If you would have not fought these ballot audits, this issue could have been settled long ago, and we would not be talking about this today. So please, our liberal friends, you should not try to put up these roadblocks for future audits. Let us have the audits, and if Arizona confirmed Biden's win, then presumably these other ones will, and everything will be certified kosher, as they say. I'm Jewish, in our religion, that certain food has to be, you can't just put a label and just say it's kosher. It has to be certified kosher. So that's all an audit should do, assuming, as I do, that the results of the election were accurate, that Biden won the election. I'm not contesting the election, YouTube. I am only saying that there are enough things out there of a suspicious nature to justify these audits. That's all I am saying. I am not predicting the results, and liberals should not be afraid to have these audits if as I say, there's nothing to hide. And one final point about the Maricopa County ballot audit. I shared in this vlog an article in which two official spokespeople for that audit came forth, no one made them do it, came forth and batted down a rumor or a report going around about 100,000 missing ballots. What does that tell you? That tells you that they are being upfront, transparent, honest. If something is not true, they will come out and say it. If somebody says something and they don't know yet, because the audit has not been finished. I am confident, more confident than ever, but I was before, that they would come out and say so. And I am especially confident, and liberals should be too, that when this final report comes out, that it will be legitimate, that it will be transparent, open, and legitimate, that these people doing this audit and speaking for the people doing the audit, because if there was any chicanery, we now know if there was any breaking of the chain of possession, or people taking black pens and blue pens and altering ballots, any of that happened, number one, they would be fired. Number two, these spokespeople would admit it. They would come out and report it. That's a reason why, as I said yesterday, all these liberal reporters, they don't want to visit the arena, even though they can, to see actually what's going on, because it destroys their narrative. But my main point is that, again, wait for the facts and accept the report, whatever it is, whatever those results are that are reported in the report. Just wait for the facts. And that's it for today. Hope I wasn't too hard on anybody. Thanks, as I always thank everybody for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. If you could spend a little more time, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Any comments, comment section below the video, or you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my other channels, my hot dog recipe channel and my music channel, my original music. I keep saying that I have a new song coming soon, that I'm going to have a new song video very soon. I really hope to do it over the weekend. All I'm waiting for is a couple of links to come in my email for, well, Spotify, Bandcamp, where you can download the song should you choose to buy it, and I certainly would not complain about that. And what else is there? They're just I already said I appreciate your stopping by. I said subscribe. I guess it's just the only thing left is I would love to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.